All right, thank you all so much for being here. Every Tuesday, we host a Stay Healthy at Home webinar from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on a variety of topics. The first Tuesday of the month is always a brand new topic, brand new webinar, and then we replay the webinars that we have from the past few years every other Tuesday. You can go to our website to sign up for the new webinars, or you can revisit one of the replays on a topic you're more interested in as well. So today we are going to be meeting with Adara Heilmann, who is the director of the Children's Advocacy Program with the ARC of New Jersey. And Adara is the director of the Children's Advocacy at the ARC of New Jersey, holds a master's degree in Children Advocacy and Policy from Montclair State University, with a professional background in social work and the mental health fields. Adara joined the ARC in 2023. She is also a parent of a child with ADHD and mental health challenges. We're very excited for her presentation today. A little bit of housekeeping. If you have any sort of tech issues or issues with Zoom, you can enter them in the chat. Bianca, Frankie, and myself will be here to help with that side of things. Otherwise, if you have questions for Adara during the presentation, feel free to use the questions, the Q&A box, or the chat box. And without further ado, I will turn it over to you, Adara. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Erin. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to share my screen. Okay. Thank you for joining me today, and I appreciate you having me here to talk about our Children's Advocacy Department at the ARC of New Jersey. First, I like to start my presentations with a little background about the ARC of New Jersey. As I'm sure you all know by now, I work for the greatest organization in New Jersey, and we are the largest advocacy and service organization for children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families. We were founded in 1949 by families of individuals with IDD, and we remain today a consumer and family-driven organization. We serve the entire state of New Jersey through our local county chapters, as well as our state office program. In addition to our programs, the ARC of New Jersey is highly involved with public policy, advocacy, and governmental affairs activities. And our mission is to promote and protect the human rights of individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and actively support their full inclusion and participation in the community throughout their lifetimes. And we are committed to enhancing the quality of life of those individuals and their families through advocacy, empowerment, education, and prevention. Just a little bit about me. I know Erin already spoke about my background. I do have a Bachelor's of Arts degree in psychology from East Stroudsburg University, as well as a master's degree in Child Advocacy and Policy from Montclair State University. And my work history was that I started with the ARC of New Jersey as a transition navigator in our Planning for Adult Life division in May of last year. And then in January, I became the director of the Children's Advocacy Program. My background includes healthcare management, social work, and hospitality. Okay, the mission of the Children's Advocacy Department is to connect children with IDD to the appropriate state services that will help them develop and achieve their long-term goals. The program works directly with children and families, state agencies, and members of the New Jersey legislature. It is also our mission to provide individual and systems advocacy related to early intervention, the children's system of care, perform care, special education, and other related services. Our strategy is to uphold our standard as being the go-to place for children with IDD and their families. We develop innovative content to make information more accessible to a wider audience, increase our presence in the community by attending family resource fairs, participate in interagency work groups and advisory committees, provide direct advocacy and assistance to help families navigate the service systems in New Jersey, and establish relationships with state agencies to improve IDD-related services. This program serves children age 0 to 21 and their families. We work to connect them with the various systems in New Jersey, and those include the Early Intervention System, the Children's System of Care, or CSOC, and Perform Care, excuse me. We work to assist families with accessing services through their local school districts and provide individualized education plan, or IEP, and 504 plan reviews, and also attend IEP meetings and advocate on the student's behalf. Assistance for families. We help to explain the rights of their students to have a free and appropriate public education. That's called FAPE. The parent's guardian's rights as a member of their child's study team. Connect with local or state level resources, and assist with understanding the school, community, and state resources that are available to their children. We also work really hard to validate the family's experience and alleviate the feelings of stress that come from being unheard or feeling isolated. And we work to connect with family-oriented activities in the state in order to increase the family and especially the children's community involvement. So these are just some examples of the types of phone calls or requests I might get for family and child advocacy. Uh, I can get a call about a child age 0 to 3, and the parent might be concerned about possible delays. I get calls for a child age 0 to 3 who is already enrolled in early intervention, about preschool children with disabilities, maybe a child that's moving from the early intervention system to preschool in their local school district, and they want to know the differences and what they're entitled to. We get calls for preschool children with suspected disabilities and how to start the process of getting that child tested through their school district or privately. I get calls about children beginning the process of getting an IEP, or if a child was denied for an IEP and they're working on establishing a 504 plan. I'll get plenty of calls about children who have a 504 plan, but the family believes that they need an IEP in order to access more services. And lastly, I get calls about a child or an adult, usually I would say age 16 to 21, who's in need of transitional services or is looking for more information about what the next step after they graduate high school might be. In those situations, when I receive these calls, I can do a few different things. I put the family in touch with agencies for specific care, Perform Care, early intervention, for examples. I schedule meetings with the family to brainstorm ideas for their IEP or 504 plan in terms of accommodations or what the student's specific needs are. I attend meetings with the school district, and I can also attend mediation and due process meetings, which happen at the state level. Here's some other things that I'm responsible for in the Children's Advocacy Department. I do send out a special education newsletter. It's called Table Talk, and it is sent out monthly on the third Thursday of the month. It includes information about changes to special education legislature in our state. And I also try to include inclusive events such as clubs, camps, or fairs for children and families, as well as interesting articles that relate to children and families. I do create fact sheets. There is an example of a fact sheet that I created on the typical accommodations for students who have ADD or ADHD. And you can see that I broke it down into different sections. And just so parents have an idea, maybe if they can't get anyone on the phone or they're looking at it late at night before they have a meeting with their child's school, they're able to see some things that are recommended for students that have that diagnosis. So my fact sheets are graphics that are intended to help understand information related to children with IDD. Most of them are about IEP plans or 504 plan accommodations. I do have graphics for family and students' rights in special education, and some that pertain to federal and state legislature. Part of my responsibilities are to hold webinars And these webinars cover topics including self-advocacy, pre-employment transition, community organization spotlights, and many more. We have guest speakers from local and state agencies. And something that I've been playing around with and I'm trying to establish is sort of a roundtable discussion on specific topics related to special education. It would be maybe either diagnosis specific or age specific, and a place for family members to come together and discuss the specific issues that they are dealing with their student or their child's, and have everyone sort of just talk and either one validate each other's experience and just have that community feeling and that understanding that these people have been in similar situations and learn from each other about different either accommodations or requests that you can ask for your school district or from early intervention. I also sit on multiple subcommittees. I am currently a member of about 20 subcommittees or stakeholder groups. These range from the State Interagency Coordinating Council to the county-specific interagency coordinating councils to smaller, more focused groups such as children and youth or other IDD subcommittees. These, like I said, these are county or statewide. And it's really important that I attend these meetings because these discussions do help to keep me informed about current and local state issues that affect children with special needs and their families. Statewide systems advocacy. So this is advocacy on a broader scale. This is taking the concerns of the children and families that I work with personally and bringing it more to the state level. So what I do here is attend state hearings, testify at state hearings, meet with legislatures. And the purpose of these meetings, of meeting, attending, and testifying, is to share the information regarding issues in New Jersey that are currently affecting our children with intellectual or developmental disabilities and their families. Uh, it's also important that we share the mission of the ARC of New Jersey. And these meetings, both at the state level and at the county or even town level sometimes, they help to identify trends in different areas with different populations. So we can discuss that internally and also bring that to the state level if needed. I also do community presentations. In that picture there, you can see I was doing a presentation for a local parents group in Great Meadows, New Jersey. They were nice enough to put that picture on their Twitter feed, and someone within the ARC of New Jersey sent it to me, so I put that on there. I do presentations as a guest speaker on webinars like right now. I also share information on the ARC of New Jersey with different subcommittees that I sit on and other local agencies. I have done college presentations and, like the picture shows, a special education parent advocacy group called a CPAG. I also do Facebook Live videos. Currently, my series is called Advocacy with Adara. So far, I have 4 live videos that are aired bi-monthly, and my next one is on May 20th, so please feel free to join me. Also on Facebook, we have the archives of the Advocacy with Adara, and that includes 3 seasons of Mondays with Michael. Michael was the prior director of Children's Advocacy, and he has 3 years worth of videos. There's also Facebook archives that are from our healthcare advocacy director, Connor, and it's called Catching Up with Connor. He also posts bi-monthly. Collaboration with other departments in the ARC of New Jersey. This is really special to me, and I really enjoy working with all the different programs. Currently, I am working with the Planning for Adult Life Department on a grant from Coca-Cola and the ARC of the US. This grant specifically focuses on educating students about self-determination and building those skills. And it focuses on educating families about their rights in special education. Part of this grant is to provide families with access to the ARC at School online curriculum and focus group discussions. I did send that flyer to Erin, so I'm sure that she'll send that out to everyone if you're interested in joining and doing this free curriculum. I actually took the free curriculum when I started here at the ARC of New Jersey, and I think it's wonderful. It provides a lot of really great information about the federal special education laws. Okay, and the Children's Advocacy has a website, and I just wanted to share some information about the things that you can find on our website. We have some resources and assistance, like a link to a problem intake form for special education. This is where families can go online and they fill out a form. It tells me a little bit about the age of their child, the nature of the problem, as well as their location. They tell me about their town and school district. So I can get a little bit of background information before I call them to discuss more specifically what's going on. There's also a link to the Tell Us About podcast, which I believe, is now taken over by the Family Institute. There are also features about different organizations that specialize in providing services and supports for different diagnoses. There's questions to ask during an IEP meeting and templates for that and for student profile, which would be just a simple one-page sheet that tells you a little bit about the student, age, name, date of birth, their strengths, their weaknesses, and things they enjoy, whether it's sports or art or music, so that the whole IEP team can get to know the student a little bit better as a person and help formulate goals and objectives based on that. And the problem intake form, like I said, it has a link in there, and that is specifically for support with IEPs, 504 plans, out of district placement, and transition planning. Okay, also on the website are upcoming events such as webinars. Stay tuned. I am still getting situated here in my new role, and I do not have any webinars listed yet. I am working on that. So hopefully for summertime, I'll have a whole list for you. And like I spoke about before, the roundtable events that I'm looking forward to starting, those I want them to be for parents and family, supports for parents and family for students with specific diagnoses. And also included on the website is my Facebook Live schedule, Advocacy with Adara. You can also find archives of the webinars, any webinar that was created under the Children's Advocacy Department. There's the Facebook Live archives, Advocacy with Adara, and Mondays with Michael, and also the archives for the Advocate of the Month. Oops, I listed that twice. Sorry. I also have some upcoming ideas for the website and things that I'm interested in putting on there. All the graphics we spoke about before relating to special education accommodations, the special education process, or student and parent rights, graphics related to the state and local services, a Zoom link for office hours. That's something I'm implementing actually starting tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. And I did want to add just a question. If anyone feels like they have an idea, I'm always open to ideas, maybe something you would like to see on the website or something that you're interested in and you're having a really hard time finding resources. I'd be happy to look into that and put something on the website about it. When you visit the website, please make sure you sign up for the email list. It's all the way at the bottom. It's a great way to stay updated on special education news. There's lots of resources for children and families and inclusive opportunities, as well as local spotlights for different organizations or businesses in the area that support inclusivity. So the Zoom office hours, this is a brand new feature. I'm really excited to start this tomorrow. The office hours are going to be May 8th, that's Wednesday, from 1 to 3 p.m. I had a soft start for this. I advertised it on social media only and put that registration was required. Currently, I have about 10 participants already registered, and hopefully I'll get a couple more before tomorrow. If this goes well, I'd like to do this about twice a week, maybe 2-hour sessions where everybody gets a 20-minute session. And as you come on, it'll be first come, first serve. And we can talk about whatever's going on for your family and your child. And hopefully it's a great streamlined approach to get everyone closer to the services they need. There's my flyer. So if anybody who's listening is in need of children's advocacy services, maybe help with an IEP or a 504 plan, please feel free to either scan that code, or Erin is also has this advertisement. She can share that with you later. This isn't just a one-time thing, so it's not like you have to attend tomorrow. I will be doing this hopefully weekly for the time being. Just wanted to pause and see if anybody had questions. Oh, I see that. No, nothing in the chat, right?
I did post the school flyer and
Oops.
the image you
Sorry.
just posted in the chat as well, if anybody would like to download that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. And there's my contact information in case anybody needs to get in touch with me.
All right, does anybody have any questions? Any scenarios that you're going through that maybe Adara could have some knowledge to help you with? Or any questions in general about the program? Excellent. So we put the Children's Advocacy link to the website in the chat as well. And on screen is all of Adara's information. And I'm gonna check the Q&A. Silvana asked, are there any costs for services?
No, my services are always free. So if you have a small question, if you need assistance at an IEP meeting, I'd be happy to help you. The one thing I would say is that this time of year, usually March through May, it's IEP season. Everybody's getting the review. So I do book out. Right now, I know I'm booked out until about mid-June for meetings, not for questions.
And when you go to an IEP meeting, what exactly do you do? What is the role that you take on?
So that's a really good question. My theory is that if you have a child with an intellectual or developmental disability, you may be providing advocacy for years, if not for their lifetime. So I really do encourage those advocacy skills from families. So we meet usually once or twice before the meeting, and we'll discuss what's going on specifically, what the students' needs are. And I try to get a lot of background information, and then we create a list ahead of time of any questions or concerns the family or the student has. And I send the family in with that list. They have a copy, I have a copy, and I usually again, depending on the need of the family or what's going on with the school district, I try to let the family lead, have them explain a little bit about their student and maybe some of the challenges they have and some of their strengths. Um, and I keep my list. I put little check marks next to it every time the parent asks a question. I do take really detailed notes because I understand that a lot of the times these meetings are very emotional and the parent might be very nervous. I know that I get pretty nervous when I go into these meetings because you're usually alone, maybe with one other person, and you're sitting across from 8 people who work for the school district. So it can be a little bit intimidating. So I take really great notes because I find that it's hard to actively participate in these meetings and take notes at the same time for family members. So I take the notes, and then at the end of the meeting, I will usually go back and just ask for clarifying questions. And I will mention anything that maybe the parent did not mention. I usually jump in if I feel like the parent is getting overwhelmed or if they're getting anxious about something that's going on. And I try to take over just for that question or just to ask some clarifying questions. But for the most part, I do try to let the family lead and then I just jump in as needed. I hope that answers your question.
I'm also going to post your FAQ in the chat. So if any questions come up, this is on your website as well.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
And I don't see, my Q&A screen disappeared. Hold on, there we go. I don't see any more questions. If anybody has any other questions, you can always reach out to Adara. If you think of something after the webinar, or if you have a specific question about something, I know Adara would be very happy to help. And Adara's information is on the screen should you need anything.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, if you have any questions, you'll reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you.
Thanks so much, Adara, and everybody have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Take care.